My bodyguard is very obedient. He's perfect in every way except he doesn't love me. During an accident, he saved someone else first. Furious, I fired him and hired a new one. At a banquet, he saw me being protected by the new guy and panicked. Sir, please let me come back to you, won't you? I'm begging you. Chapter 1. Leon Shaw was 17 when he came to my family's estate to be my bodyguard. I was a freshman in high school that year. His father was a professional bodyguard, and Leon had been rigorously trained since he was a child. Leon attended school with me. He was the most unnoticeable guy in class, always sitting in the back row, rarely speaking. Occasionally, I would deliberately provoke him, trying to see him angry, but I never succeeded. He was always good to me, even more attentive than the regular staff. The slightest frown from me, and he'd know which dessert to clear from the table. I had never seen Leon be so considerate to anyone else, and he only ever smiled at me. His eyes only ever held me. I loved spending time with him. Gradually, I didn't want to see him as just a bodyguard anymore. I thought the feeling was mutual, that he was just poor at expressing himself. Until that day, Chapter 2. On the weekend, Leon handed me a stack of love letters. Sir, I've already checked them. No poison or hidden blades. I rolled my eyes and told him to put them all in my locker. That locker was filled to the brim with love letters and gifts from girls. And some from guys, of course. I've been good-looking since I was a child, so I was long used to being the center of attention. Every time I was cornered by a girl confessing her feelings, Leon would just stand nearby, watching, doing nothing. I once confronted him angrily. Don't you have anything to say? Why were you just standing there like an idiot? Sir, that girl looked gentle. It didn't seem like she would try to harm you, so I didn't intervene. Even his reply was devoid of any emotion. He couldn't care less if I started dating someone else. I was furious. I began to question whether he liked me at all, but I'm Julian Fairfax. I've gotten everything I've ever wanted. I'm spoiled and proud, and I wasn't about to be the first to break the silence between us. So I just gave him the cold shoulder for a while. Chapter 3. After our final exams, I immediately shed my school uniform and went to get my hair dyed a light blonde. Even my mother, Catherine, saw it and complimented me, saying I looked like a character from an anime. I went to find Leon, wanting to hear what he thought. Instead, I stumbled upon a girl confessing her feelings to him. The girl was Emily Carter, the English class rep from our year and a top student. Her hair was in a high ponytail, and she was so nervous she stammered. Leon waited quietly for her to finish, his gaze remarkably gentle. Hiding behind a tree, I felt a knot of nervousness tighten in my own stomach. After Emily left, Leon started walking back toward the Fairfax estate. I jumped out from behind the tree to startle him, teasing him on purpose. Well, Leon, you're quite the popular guy. She was pretty cute. Did you say yes?" He shook his head. "Why not? Fairfax bodyguards aren't allowed to date while on duty." That was, in fact, stipulated in his contract. I had my negative answer, but I wasn't happy about it at all. What if he weren't my bodyguard? Chapter 4. Not long after our scores came out, Leon and I prepared to apply to the same school, Lantong University. I was only going there because it was close to home and had a good art program. The graduation party was held at a high-end private venue. It had everything: karaoke rooms, a pool, and hot springs. Anyway, students from our elite private school all did well on their exams. Those who didn't were just packed off to study abroad. A few students had prepared a surprise for our homeroom teacher, and everyone gathered around to watch. I stood lazily at the back, having no interest in joining the crowd. Suddenly, Emily Carter, who was standing next to me, was bumped by someone and stumbled into the pool. As she fell, she flailed and instinctively grabbed onto me, pulling me in with her. We had fallen into the deep end. As we plunged into the water, the students on the poolside were slow to notice over the loud music. I surfaced, ready to help the girl, but someone was already a step ahead of me, pulling her to shore. It was Leon. He settled her safely on the deck, then turned to help me. I glared at him coldly, dodged his hand, and climbed out of the pool myself. This was the first time, in all the years he'd been with me, that he had chosen to save someone else when I was in trouble. I went back to my room and called for a change of clothes. Leon followed me, wrapping a bath towel around my shivering body. "Don't touch me," I shoved him away angrily. Leon lowered his head. "I'm sorry, sir. I knew you could swim, so I went to. So you know her that well, do you?" "You knew she couldn't swim. I could tell from her reaction when she fell in." "Don't talk to me. I don't want to hear your excuses." He fell silent. He actually just stopped talking. A fire of resentment burned in my chest. I knew logically that he should have saved her, but I was still furious. And to make it worse, he was so dense, such a blockhead, that he had no idea why I was angry. Chapter 5. Later, Emily Carter came to the Fairfax estate specifically to thank him, bringing a gift. I saw Leon smile at her, and the imbalance in my heart grew even stronger. I had given Leon so many clothes and accessories, but I'd never seen him look that grateful. He never even used them. Maybe he didn't like me at all. He was just a straight guy, and I was just his employer. When Leon saw me staring from the balcony, he hurried over to explain. "Sir, you're fired." I said it in a cold voice, still looking every bit the proud swan. I didn't look at his stunned face as I grabbed my sports car keys and went out drinking with my friends. The bar was a whirlwind of debauchery. My entourage of troublemakers knew about my orientation and immediately started teasing me. "Pretty boy Julian, how come your bodyguard's not with you today?" "Yeah, where's that blockhead of yours? Isn't he usually glued to your side?" Pretty boy Julian was my nickname. Even though I'm a guy, I'm more into fashion than most girls and love collecting beautiful jewelry. I sneered and told them to shut up. "He's just a bodyguard. It's not like he's my only option." Chapter 6. For my university acceptance party, the Fairfax estate was flooded with people. My grandfather built this estate. It's nestled between a mountain and a river, on a piece of land in the city that money can't buy. My father, Richard, had arranged a new bodyguard for me named Cody Rhodes. He was younger than me but taller, and apparently trained in a private special forces unit. After I changed into my evening suit, Cody was waiting for me outside the door. He gave me a cheerful report on the arriving guests, a canine tooth peeking out when he smiled. I went downstairs and was led around by my father, making insincere small talk with a bunch of business magnates. I excused myself to the restroom, needing a moment to breathe. Staring at my own exquisite face in the mirror, I noticed my hair seemed to have grown a bit. I could probably tie it half up now. As I was fiddling with it, the door suddenly opened. I thought it was Cody and frowned instantly. "Did I say you could come in?" When I turned, I saw it was Leon, whom I hadn't seen in days. "What are you doing here?" "Where's Cody?" I knocked him out. I glared at him and tried to leave, but he blocked the door. He grabbed my hand, his voice filled with despair. "Found a new bodyguard so quickly, sir." "Move." Leon ignored me, even closing the distance between us. His dark eyes were now swimming with an emotion I'd never seen before. Leon rarely showed any emotion in front of me, because he always said a bodyguard doesn't need emotions when facing their employer. "Leon, what do you think you're doing?" "I want to beg you, sir, to let me come back to you." I scoffed, tilting his chin up with my fingers, my eyes mocking. "Leon, do you even know why I fired you?" "If you don't, you'd better not provoke me." "I know." I froze, trying to pull my hand back, but he held it tight. His deep voice suddenly said my name, and it felt unfamiliar. "Julian, my love is selfish. Do you really want it? You haven't even given it." "How would I know if I want it or not?" Leon stared at me, then suddenly lifted me onto the bathroom counter. A kiss crashed down on me, fierce, yet with a hint of pleading. My eyes flew open as he held the back of my neck. "Sir, was that to your satisfaction? If it wasn't enough." His hand slid under the hem of my shirt. My face flushed crimson, and I quickly grabbed his wrist. Who said he could do something like this so soon? Leon saw my reddened ears, and a hint of a smile appeared in his eyes. I hated losing the upper hand and glared at him fiercely. "What are you smiling at? Did I say you could touch me?" "I was wrong. How about you get me back?" He leaned his face closer, and I punched him lightly. "Get lost, so do you still want me, sir?" Chapter 7. I hesitated, my heart pounding in my chest. Footsteps echoed from outside. My father's assistant was calling for me. I used the opportunity to push Leon away, telling him not to follow me anymore. Downstairs, I rejoined my father, continuing to network with the elite guests. My mind was elsewhere. Then my father suddenly brought up Leon's transfer. Since I was firing Leon, he planned to send him to a post in the South to make the most of his skills. Some godforsaken post in the South. The conditions were terrible. It was miles away. If he went, I'd never see him again. I immediately stopped him. "Dad, don't transfer him just yet. Let him stay." What I said last time. I was just angry. My father gave me a helpless look, chiding me for being so childish and impulsive. I feigned deafness, hugging his arm with a charming smile. In the end, Leon wasn't sent away. However, after Cody found out Leon had knocked him out, he challenged him to a sparring session every single day. Leon couldn't be bothered with him, his disdain palpable. Cody, utterly provoked, came to me to demand justice. "Sir, look at him. He acts like he's looking down on me all day." all right, I'll take you out today." Really? His eyes lit up and he smiled like a cute puppy. Cody had grown up in isolated, intense training and knew very little about the outside world. Every outing was a new and exciting experience for him. I patted his hair. He did a little happy spin before rushing off to change. A childhood friend of mine had organized a street race and invited me along. He wanted to see the new red sports car I had recently acquired. Chapter 8. When we arrived at the foot of the mountain, a crowd of tall, stylish men and women were laughing and chatting together. My childhood friend greeted me and introduced me to some of the others. A cool, mature woman spotted Cody and couldn't help but tease him, lifting his chin with her fingers, her tone playful. "Whose little kid is this? You're so adorable." "I'm not little." Cody's ears turned red and he quickly hid behind me. Whose kid he was went without saying. Sometimes he felt more like my little brother than my bodyguard, like right now as he tugged on my sleeve. "Sir, the way they're looking at me is terrifying. It's like they want to eat me alive." If I hadn't seen him coolly handle a gun, I might have actually believed he was just some innocent young boy. I chuckled and told him to get used to it. Leon scanned the surroundings for security threats, his gaze finally landing on Cody's hand, still tugging my sleeve. His eyes darkened, and he silently positioned himself between Cody and me. It was time for the race. I could have someone in the passenger seat. My friend eagerly came over, wanting a first-hand look at my new car's performance. "No, my passenger seat is taken." "By who?" My friend frowned, annoyed. His eyes scanned the group, and he immediately understood. "Oh, I see. Ditching your friends for a pretty face, are we? You've really been bewitched." I just smirked, my arm resting casually on the car door, my eyes sweeping over to Leon. There was a flicker of anticipation in his expression. I raised my hand, but instead of pointing at him, I beckoned to Cody. "Come on." Cody froze, then a goofy grin spread across his face as he rushed over, obediently getting in and buckling his seatbelt. Leon's lips pressed into a thin line. The light in his eyes slowly died. I took the car for a spin on the mountain road. The boy beside me was cheering, thrilled by the speed, but I couldn't focus on my ranking. Leon's face kept flashing in my mind. The race ended and we returned to the starting point. My ranking was far from the top 3. My friend was yelling, asking if I wasn't putting in my full effort. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him. I saw Leon still maintaining that respectful posture, his eyes betraying no emotion. It was as if his earlier disappointment had just been my imagination. "Sir." Leon handed me a soda, my favorite orange flavor. I took it and casually tossed it to Cody. Cody happily took a sip, only to be shoved hard from behind, nearly choking. He turned to see Leon's expressionless face and felt, once again, that this guy had it out for him in every possible way. Chapter 9. Back at the Fairfax estate, Leon coldly dismissed Cody, telling him to go patrol the perimeter. Cody frowned. "Why should I go? Because you can't beat me." "Only for now." Cody was defiant but went to do his patrol anyway. I went back to my room to change. A moment later, footsteps approached from behind. Leon wrapped his arms around me, pinning me against the sofa and kissing me. He bit a little too hard, as if trying to prove something. I turned my head away, pushing his face back with my hand. "What do you think you're doing? You're just my bodyguard right now, trying to overstep your bounds." "I apologize, sir." His words were apologetic, but his grip didn't loosen one bit. He looked at me deeply, then lowered his head in resignation. "Cody is new, you've only known him for a short time. It's not appropriate for you to be so close. What are you unhappy about it?" He didn't answer. I tilted his chin up, a triumphant look in my eyes. "So Leon, you finally have a taste of your own medicine. It doesn't feel good when someone else touches what's yours, does it?" I did it on purpose. I wanted to see him lose his mind. Leon's eyes fell, his voice hoarse. "Yes, I've tasted it. It doesn't feel good. Julian, I was wrong. Can you not let Cody go to Lantong University too? I'm enough to protect you on my own. He gets his information fast." But I just tilted my head at him, playfully tugging at his collar. "And why should I?" "Give me a reason." Leon looked at me and fell silent again. "You damn blockhead. It's always like this." I suddenly lost interest, annoyed and ready to leave. He pressed down on my shoulders, holding me in place. I kicked him in frustration. "Leon, are you a mute? Or do you expect this young master to confess to you first? Since you don't want to say it, then never say it. Everyone in my household knew I treated Leon the best. But him. He acted like a mannequin all day, completely unreadable. He took my wrist, gently stroking it. "It's not that I didn't want to say it. I was afraid it was just a fleeting interest for you, sir." that in the end, I'd lose even our employer-employee relationship, so I held back. I thought if I didn't say anything, I could stay by your side forever. It was true that I had a short attention span with most things. The piano that started collecting dust after 3 months of lessons. The Lego set I lost interest in right after buying it, giving up on dance lessons because I was afraid of the pain. But with a lot of things, how would I know if I liked them if I didn't try? If my interest in you was so fleeting, why would I have cared about you for so long? I bit his neck as if venting my frustration that he kept his distance, that he was plagued by his own insecurities but never said a word. Leon let out a muffled grunt, stroking my hair, not pushing me away. It's my fault, I realized it too late. Is it still possible now? Sir, are you still willing to be my boyfriend? I'll continue to protect you with my life, and I'll never make you angry again. Please don't get rid of me, okay? A belated confession. Laced with a humble plea, I released him, stunned, my heart feeling both sore and soft. Aren't you afraid my interest is really just fleeting? What will you do if I get tired of you? Then I'll beg you. I'll find every possible way to extend that interest. A lot of 3-minute passions added together might just make a lifetime. He said it so earnestly, with a kind of stubborn foolishness. I let out a soft, nasal laugh. You wish. Who said anything about a lifetime with you? And didn't you say before that bodyguards can't date while on duty? But the employer's command is the highest priority. I must fulfill your request, sir. So, sir, give me the order. Leon lowered his head, leaning close, his eyes full of devoted love. And my order needed no words. I smiled and touched the corner of his lips, and he captured the back of my head for a deep kiss. Who said Leon was a blockhead? He clearly knows exactly what he's doing. He's had me wrapped around his finger all along. Chapter 10. A week before university started, I asked my father to reassign Cody so he wouldn't have to accompany me to school. My father hesitated for a moment, then shook his head. University is a mixed bag, and there are a lot of people. It's better to have them both go with you so they can back each other up. I looked to my mother, who was doing a face mask. She just told me to listen to my father. In the end, I had to take both of them to Lantong University. Along the way, Cody and Leon were constantly bickering. Every time Cody learned a new move, he'd try to get the drop on Leon, and every time he'd end up getting thrashed. When he was beaten to the point of tears, he'd come complain to me. I just watched them, amused. Leon was 2 years older than him, and he hadn't wasted those 2 years. When we got to the dorms, Leon helped me make my bed, while Cody curiously explored the balcony. They were enrolled as student athletes, and their dorm was right next to mine. After everything was set up, Leon gave me a necklace. For a second, I thought it was a school-starting gift and was thrilled, but then he spoke in a calm voice. There's a tracker inside. Unless it's absolutely necessary, please don't take it off, sir. It'll make it easier for us to ensure your safety. Oh, my excitement vanished as I took it. Next, he set up my phone's emergency contacts and a location tracking system. I looked at the clothes he was wearing, still the same simple black, white, and gray. Leon, what about all those things I gave you before? How come I never see you use them? I put them away safely. They might get damaged if I use them, so I wanted to keep them hidden. That was a bit too careful, but it made sense. Leon had been through a lot of hardship. Whenever he got something nice, he would either share it with me or hide it away. I moved closer to him, taking his wrist. Just use them from now on. Accessories and clothes are just material things. If they break, I'll just buy you new ones. Okay, as you wish, sir. He lightly grazed my palm with his finger and gave me a smile. Cody pulled at me, wanting to go explore the campus. Leon expressionlessly yanked his hand away. Maintain your distance from the sir. What's your problem? Weren't you hugging him last night? That's different. And another thing, stop spying on my movements. Cody rolled his eyes. He thought Leon was insane and a total hypocrite, never once suspecting that we were actually dating. For now, I didn't plan on going public anyway. I didn't need my family getting wind of it and giving me another lecture. Chapter 11. University life was quite vibrant. Within a month, I was thriving, making a few new friends. My roommates were pretty cool, especially the guy in the bunk across from me, a pale, clean-cut boy who spoke in a soft, gentle voice. He was just too sweet. If I were a top, I probably would have hit on him already. People at university were pretty open-minded about same-sex relationships. During orientation week, girls and even some guys would slip me little notes. Before I could even read them, Leon would intercept them. He was making no effort to hide his possessiveness now. getting silently jealous at the drop of a hat. However, Leon himself had recently attracted the attention of another guy. Leon had been practically invisible in high school, but at university, a handsome, tall athlete like him was total catnip for the flamboyant bottoms. One day, I went to the gym to find Leon and saw him playing badminton with a guy. It was a doubles match, and the guy was his partner. The weather was getting cooler, but the guy was in light sportswear, his long, pale legs on full display beneath his shorts. Moreover, his attention was always on Leon. Sometimes when he nearly fell, he would always stumble in Leon's direction. Leon carried him to an easy victory, and the guy looked at him with pure adoration, his voice soft. "Leon, my man, you're amazing. Could you teach me sometime?" So clumsy. That little trick wouldn't even register on my radar. When Leon saw me, he immediately ran over. I deliberately took out a tissue to wipe the sweat from his face, an intimate and ambiguous gesture. The other guy's eyes instantly locked onto us. Leon just grinned at me naively, completely oblivious that he was being targeted. He introduced the guy to me. His name was Adrian Vance, the younger brother of a teammate who just came around to hang out from time to time. "Oh, so this wasn't the first time. What are you spacing out for?" "Was class tiring today?" Leon's eyes were full of affection as he habitually stroked my hair. My half-tied hair was about to come loose from his petting. I glared at him and slapped his hand away. Adrian, sensing that our relationship was unusual, immediately came over to greet me. "You must be Leon's friend. You're so beautiful." "Thanks," I offered a polite smile. As our eyes met, we both recognized the hostility in each other. Adrian smiled faintly, as if declaring war on me. "Do you play badminton? Want to have a match?" "Sure. I might be an art major, but my athletic skills weren't half bad. Growing up in the world of high society, you had to be at least a little good at everything." Chapter 12. I took Leon's racket, weighed it in my hand, and started a 1v1 match against Adrian. Adrian's skills were decent, but his stamina was lacking. I deliberately played with him, making him run back and forth to wear him out. In the end, he lost after I smashed the shuttlecock past him several times. He just smiled, playing weak in front of Leon. "Leon, my man, your friend is really good. He just ran me ragged on our first meeting." I'm completely exhausted. His words were so passive-aggressive. I glanced at him and tossed the racket back to Leon. Adrian then pretended he couldn't open his water bottle and smiled at Leon. "Leon, can you help me open this?" "My hands are all weak. Go ask your brother." Leon didn't even look at him, instead squeezing my wrist. "You played well. Are you tired?" "I'm fine." I caught Adrian's resentful gaze and gave him a provocative smile. Adrian went to his brother and said something. His brother then asked if we wanted to play another round, suggesting Adrian team up with Leon. Adrian readily agreed. "Yeah, that's a great idea. I can learn more from Leon." I glanced at my watch. "Fine, I'll play your little game and crush that hope of yours once and for all." Leon looked at me, and only after I nodded did he agree to continue. "I'll team up with Julian. We have better chemistry." Adrian's face fell, and he had to team up with his brother. Within 10 minutes, the two of them were being utterly crushed by me and Leon. At first, Adrian would complain to Leon that he was playing too hard, his voice soft and whiny, like he was trying to be cute. I let out a soft laugh, patted Leon's shoulder, and lowered my voice. "I'm getting a little tired. I want to end this match soon, you get me?" "Understood, sir." Leon got it. He started serving. Attack after attack, smash after smash, each one more ferocious than the last. Adrian was sent scrambling all over the court, drenched in sweat. He got no sympathy from Leon and finally gave up. Every time I scored a point, I'd raise an eyebrow at Adrian. My silent message to him, keep it coming. Adrian gritted his teeth, but he had to maintain his polite smile to keep up his persona. Tusk. Chapter 13. After the match, Adrian was completely out of breath. "Leon, you guys have a competition next month, right? I'll come cheer for you." "No need." Adrian's face fell again. Leon twisted open a water bottle and handed it to me. While the other two were in the restroom, I frowned and questioned him. "Leon, how come I didn't know you had a competition? I mentioned it to you last time, but you were busy on a video call with your family." "You probably didn't notice." "Oh. Well, you can just tell me multiple times in the future." "Okay." Leon used a towel to wipe the sweat from my face. His hand then moved to my ear, pinching it gently, reluctant to let go. "Why were you staring at Adrian just now? Do you think he's good-looking?" Beneath his flat tone, I could detect a faint sourness. I couldn't help but smirk. I wasn't even the jealous one yet, and here you were, getting a head start. Yeah, he's pretty good looking, don't you think? I think you're the best looking. He stared at me, his eyes deepening as he leaned closer. Your face is so red. Julian, his voice was hoarse, thick with desire. There were still people playing nearby. I quickly pushed him away. What are you doing? We're in public. So it's okay if we go back. Leon smiled, and I punched him lightly. Chapter 14. We walked out of the gym. It was empty outside. Leon secretly took my hand. Behind us, Adrian came running out. Leon, see you next time. Can you teach me how to smash then? We'll see. Leon said it dismissively, not even turning his head as he continued walking with me. It had just rained yesterday, and there were small puddles by the entrance. I was about to jump over one when Leon wrapped an arm around my waist and effortlessly lifted me across. So this is what they call boyfriend power. Leon noticed a speck of dust on my shoe and knelt down to wipe it clean. He knew I hated getting my new shoes dirty. Adrian, watching this from the steps, couldn't help but speak up. Leon, you're way too good to your friend. Is he really that delicate? He is. He's the person I love. Leon's tone was calm, as if he were stating a simple fact. Adrian's eyes widened, shocked by his bluntness. After all, being gay was supposed to be a private, hidden thing. Leon, completely oblivious to Adrian's intentions toward him, just took my hand and led me toward the cafeteria. I was secretly thrilled. There were some benefits to him being a blockhead after all. Chapter 15. Even though Leon didn't take Adrian seriously, I didn't want any surprises happening under my watch. For the next week, I frequently went to the gym to watch Leon play. I'd occasionally see Adrian getting shut down. He couldn't get anywhere near Leon. Leon didn't know what a two-faced manipulator was. He just found the guy annoying and a distraction from his training. Adrian would shoot me a look, then leave, unwilling to give up. Leon had great stamina, so practicing badminton was no pressure for him. Every time he jumped for a smash, I could see his abs, such a feast for the eyes. After sketch class, it was still pouring rain outside. Cody was supposed to bring me an umbrella soon. I was still looking at a drawing when, unexpectedly, Adrian was the first to arrive at the studio. He closed his umbrella and gave me a slight smile, still putting on his soft, lamb-like act. What caught my attention was the jacket he was wearing. It was Leon's. I raised an eyebrow and put down my pencil. What are you doing here? Leon didn't come to pick you up. What a shame. Did he tell you he was busy today? How did you know? Because he was having dinner with me. He was so thoughtful. He even gave me his jacket because he was afraid I'd get cold. And I crossed my arms, watching him continue his performance with a detached air. My lack of a reaction seemed to throw him off. Adrian's expression changed instantly. So, what do you have to be so proud of? What's the use of Leon liking you if I can just beckon him over with a finger? Julian, you may be beautiful, but that arrogance in your bones. I hate it just looking at it. You use the fact that Leon likes you to order him around like a servant. How long do you think an unequal relationship like that will last? Is that all? Are you done? He paused. I'm done. I twirled a strand of my hair. I thought he was going to say something explosive, but that was it. There was no way Leon would give Adrian his jacket. He doesn't associate with people he doesn't know well. Back when that girl fell in the pool, she was soaked to the bone, and Leon didn't even offer her his jacket. So why would he give his jacket to a guy just because it was raining? Adrian, do you know who bought this jacket for Leon? A flicker of doubt appeared in his eyes. I tilted my head and smiled at him. I did. I bought Leon's watch. I bought his pajamas. I even bought his underwear. Even Leon's life was bought by me. What have you ever done for him? What right do you have to lecture me about my arrogance? On the surface, I was flaunting my wealth. In reality, I was flaunting our intimacy. After all, clothing sizes are very personal. Adrian's face darkened, but he forced himself to remain calm. So what? You think he'll like you forever? With your attitude, who could stand it? Julian, you won't be smug for long. Adrian stormed out in a huff. He took 2 steps, then turned back. He threw the jacket onto the table and left, fuming. Chapter 16. A while later, Cody arrived with an umbrella to pick me up. Where's Leon? It seems the team's performance wasn't good, so the coach is punishing all of them. So he really was busy. But how did the jacket end up with Adrian? I frowned, crumpling the sketch in my hand and tossing it away. It was very late when Leon finally got back to the dorm. He came to find me, carrying a container of washed strawberries. Cody said you barely ate anything tonight. What's wrong? Not feeling well. He reached out to touch my forehead, but I dodged him. I tossed the jacket at him and he quickly caught it. How did you get this? I was wondering where it went in the locker room. Because Adrian took it. What? Don't tell me you still don't know he has a thing for you. He wore this jacket and paraded it in front of me, saying how nice you were to him. How is that possible? I haven't even seen him lately. Leon's eyes darkened, as if he was furious. Sir, I'll go deal with him. Forget it. I grabbed his wrist, feeling the veins bulging on it. With Leon's strength, I was genuinely afraid that after he was dealt with, Adrian would have a lifelong psychological trauma of athletic tops. Leon threw the jacket into the trash and carefully watched my expression. Julian, are you angry? HMPH. Someone of Adrian's level wasn't worthy of my anger. I was a little annoyed, but that feeling had already dissipated. He kissed the corner of my mouth, his eyes complex. I used to get upset when I saw you surrounded by admirers, but seeing you like this now, I'm happy, but I'm also not. If you're ever upset again, don't take it out on yourself. You can come find me, you can hit me to let it out. I pushed him away. I can't be bothered to hit you. Right, then I'll hit them for you. Sir, want some strawberries? I picked them especially for you. Leon held a strawberry to my lips. I took a bite and spat it out. It's so sour. He quickly caught it and apologized. Watching him coax me, I couldn't help but remember what Adrian said, that I treated Leon like a servant. I had been weighted on hand and foot since I was a child, and many things had become unconscious behaviors. In my heart, I saw Leon as my boyfriend, but our interactions did seem to involve me being more spoiled, even bossy. Looks like I'll have to change that. Chapter 17. In our color theory class, a senior named Elias Thorne was our teaching assistant. He had long hair and exquisite features. He looked cool and distant, but his eyes were incredibly expressive and alluring. I especially liked talking to him because he appreciated my art. After class, Elias commented on my assignment, suggesting some revisions. I smiled at him, unable to resist complimenting his looks again. He laughed and lightly tapped my head. Elias, want to go sketching together this weekend? Can't, I have plans. Elias raised an eyebrow at me and gestured toward the window. Your friend is here to see you. I turned my head and saw Leon standing outside, waiting for me. I didn't know how long he'd been there. I said goodbye to Elias. As I walked out of the classroom, Leon took the books from my hands. Sir, who was that person just now? A senior. He's a really nice guy. Leon and I went to the cafeteria to eat, finding a quiet corner. He habitually started picking the bones out of my fish and removing the green onions and ginger from my dish. I quickly pulled my bowl back. Don't worry about it. I can do it myself. You eat your food. He glanced at me and silently withdrew his hand. Sir, the badminton competition is this Friday. Will you have time to come watch? I should. Elias seems to be interested in badminton too. I'll ask him if he wants to go. I quickly pulled out my phone to send a message. If possible, we could go together. Leon's grip on his chopsticks tightened and he didn't eat. Are you close with that senior? Not really, but we will be after hanging out a few more times. Let me do a background check on him first. Then you can get closer to him. It's fine, he's just a regular university student. It's not that complicated. You trust him that much? I nodded. Leon lowered his eyes and didn't say another word. Chapter 18. When I went to my afternoon class, Leon tried to carry my drawing board, but I refused. I could handle something this light. Leon followed behind me, empty-handed, a dejected look on his face. I frowned and gave him a little push. What's wrong with you? Don't you have training? You should hurry up and go. Then I'll come find you after class. No need, I'm going to find Elias. He opened a studio and I want to check it out. Anyway, if Leon was busy, Cody could still accompany me. Leon clenched his fists, then relaxed them a few seconds later. He walked me to the art room and left. After class, I went to visit Elias' studio. It was beautifully decorated, with many of his works on display. The most striking piece was a portrait he had painted of a boy. The colors were vibrant, capturing a heart-fluttering feeling. I took a few pictures and posted them on my social media feed, telling my friends to contact the studio if they needed anything. When I got back, I found Leon was very quiet. I assumed he was just tired from his pre-competition training and didn't press the issue. For the next few days, I was busy finishing my color theory assignment. Whenever I saw Cody, his face was always bruised, with dark circles under his eyes. I looked at him, puzzled. What happened to you? Did you get in another fight? Leon's been acting crazy for some reason. He can't sleep at night, so he drags me up to the roof to spar. I can't beat him, and now I can't sleep at night either. It's making me so mad, Cody whined, touching his face, and asked me to do something about Leon. I held back a laugh and verbally agreed. Chapter 19. On the day of the badminton competition, I went with Elias to watch. Elias also brought another guy with him. I recognized him as the person from Elias' painting. Watching them drink from the same cup, I seemed to have an epiphany, and a smile I couldn't contain spread across my face. The spectator stands were packed. Leon's gaze found me with pinpoint accuracy. When he saw the people I was with, his eyes darkened, and he looked down to start his warm-up. He played fiercely during the match, achieving an almost overwhelming victory. The entire arena erupted in cheers. After the match, I went to the locker room to find him, planning to celebrate with him. Leon had just taken off his shirt, revealing his tight, tan muscles and their beautiful lines. "Leon, you were amazing. You played great today." "Yeah. Elias is still outside. Should we all go out to eat together?" His fingers paused. He threw his shirt back into his locker. Leon turned to stare at me, his gaze deep and dark. Suddenly his voice was heavy. "Sir, I'm sorry." Before I could react, he lunged forward, pressing me against the lockers and kissing me fiercely. He bit my lips a little, making them sore, but it was tolerable. I struggled slightly, but his grip only tightened. His whole body pressed against mine like a mountain, impossible to move. My eyes turned red, and tears welled up from the sheer intensity. As they fell, he kissed them away. It felt like a long time passed. Leon finally let me go, his hand lingering on the back of my neck. His eyes were overflowing with a thick possessiveness. In that moment, he was more dangerous than when he held a gun. I spoke in a small voice. "What's wrong with you, seeing you with that senior?" It made me very uncomfortable. He rested his head in the crook of my neck, his voice raspy. "And sir, you've been avoiding me lately." "How have I been avoiding you? You're the one who's been so busy with training that we haven't had time to see each other. Then why did you refuse when I tried to tie your shoes, carry your things, and peel your fruit for you? Isn't that avoiding me?" He was so close I could feel the thumping of his heart against his chest. I hugged him back, stroking his ear. Adrian's words made me think. He said I treat you like a servant, and I thought maybe I should change. Things I can do myself, I should do myself. But if you do that, then you won't need me anymore. He gently bit my neck. "Julian, every time I do something for you, it makes me really happy. Servant, bodyguard, none of that stops me from being your boyfriend. You can order me around more. I like being attached to you." He actually liked that. The power imbalance I had imagined didn't exist for him. He reveled in it. He was right, too. Other people could do those little things, but for some reason, the oranges peeled by Leon were always the sweetest. Leon nuzzled my neck like a big dog seeking affection. "Go back to treating me like you used to, please, sir." My heart sped up, a strange sense of pleasure washing over me. I patted his head like a good dog and agreed. Chapter 20. After that, whenever I went to the art studio to paint, Leon was usually the one accompanying me. When it rained, he held the umbrella for me. When it was sunny, he brought me a fruit platter. Elias and I remained just regular friends. Once Leon found out he had a boyfriend, he immediately dropped his guard. One time, Leon and I ran into Adrian in the hallway. When he saw that Leon was still being so attentive to me, a deep shadow crossed his eyes. Adrian didn't even greet Leon. He just turned and walked away. Tusk, wasn't he so arrogant before? I went to the studio in a great mood. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. My hands were covered in paint, so I nudged Leon with my foot and asked him to check it for me. Leon glanced at the phone. "It's a notification about an automatic subscription payment." Oh, I went back to my painting. A few minutes later, I felt a chill behind me. I turned around and saw Leon still staring at my phone. "What are you looking at?" "I accidentally saw your extensive saved folder." He looked up, showing me the screen. It was filled with videos and pictures of handsome guys with abs and pecs, some of them a bit risque. I met his dark gaze and gave a sheepish laugh. "I saved all of these back in high school. You know I'm an art student, right? I definitely need some human anatomy references. You can understand that, right? Then what about this one?" Leon pointed to one of my comments and read it out loud, expressionless. "All covered up like that. Something on your mind?" The comment had since been pinned and become the top reply. I was silent for a moment, then, ignoring the paint on my hands, I snatched the phone back. There were other things in there he absolutely could not see. "Are you feeling guilty?" "No, I just forgot to delete these." "Then delete them for me now. So many precious treasures." I was suddenly a bit reluctant. Leon raised an eyebrow, a clear threat in his tone. I quickly opened my phone and cleared out the folder. I had saved all of them back in high school. At the time, I had a crush on Leon and was incredibly curious about what he looked like without a shirt, so whenever I saw someone with a similar build, I couldn't help but save it. There, all gone. "Are you satisfied?" Leon just grunted. Seeing his sulky, jealous mood, I couldn't resist teasing him. I reached out and smeared some paint from my hand onto his nose. "You're so sour. Not jealous anymore, are you?" Leon glanced at the security camera in the classroom and lowered his eyes. "I'll let you off the hook." For now, Chapter 21. In the evening, Leon helped me carry my art supplies back to the dorm. His roommate wasn't there, and he pulled me inside. Leon sat me on his desk and stared at me intently. I felt like a wolf had just dragged me back to its den. His hand gently touched my ear. His lips landed on my neck, not too light, not too heavy. It was like a feather brushing against my skin, incredibly ticklish. I couldn't stand his teasing, and my face turned red after just a few moments. I grabbed his collar to kiss him, but he turned his head and dodged. Seeing the longing in my eyes, Leon deliberately placed my hand inside his shirt, where it met a wall of solid muscle. "Can I be your human anatomy reference from now on, sir?" I nodded. "Then will you still look at other guys?" I shook my head. He smiled in satisfaction and leaned down to kiss me. Just as things were getting heated and we were lost in the moment, a knock came from the door. Cody, puzzled, knocked again. "Hey Leon, open up, I know you're in there. Is the sir with you? What are you guys doing? Why do you sound so weird?" Leon reluctantly pulled away from me. Annoyed at being interrupted, he gritted his teeth. I, blushing, went to open the door. Cody frowned, looking us over, his eyes widening. "Sir, why are your lips so swollen? Are you poisoned?" "You're the one who's poisoned." I stomped on his foot and quickly escaped back to my own dorm. Cody stood there, completely bewildered, as Leon grabbed him by the collar. "Come on, we're going to the roof for a one-on-one." "Huh, let go of me, I'm not going, I just finished training, I haven't even rested yet." Chapter 22. On New Year's Day. The first thing Leon did after receiving his salary was buy me a beautiful sapphire jewelry set. I was thrilled, looking at it from every angle and posting a picture on my social media feed to show it off. That evening, I took Leon and Cody out to eat. Leon didn't want to bring Cody, but he was all alone here with no family or friends, and it would have been too sad for him to spend the holiday by himself. Cody followed us excitedly, clamoring to go see the fireworks later. The streetlights cast 3 long shadows on the ground. Looking at them, I inexplicably felt like we were a family of 3. I let out a few silly laughs. As we were crossing the street at a green light, a van with no license plate suddenly came speeding toward us. It was heading straight for me. I was terrified, frozen in place. Before I could react, Leon yanked me out of the way. I had been at school for so long that I'd forgotten how many enemies the Fairfax family had in the outside world. The van sped past. Leon and Cody's faces grew grim as they both went on high alert. "You watch the sir," Leon instructed Cody, then turned and chased after the van. How could 2 legs ever outrun 4 wheels? But Leon did. He moved like a cheetah, grabbing onto the car door, jumping through the window, and knocking out the driver, forcing the vehicle to a stop. Cody pulled a small pistol from his pocket and moved forward coldly to apprehend the man. I was still in shock, but then I saw blood streaming down Leon's arm. Thankfully, there was only one driver in the car, armed with just a knife. "Sir, do you recognize this man?" "No." Cody nodded and sent a photo of the man to the Fairfax family contacts. Chapter 23. It was a terrifying ordeal. In the end, the 3 of us spent New Year's Day in the hospital. The cut on Leon's arm was a bit deep, but thankfully, it hadn't damaged any major nerves. My heart ached for him. "Why did you have to chase the van? That was so dangerous." "If we don't catch them, there will be more danger. I told you I would protect you." He squeezed my fingers, his face a little pale. I told him to lie down and rest. For the next few days, Leon was in the hospital. Now it was my turn to take care of him. Leon was very uncomfortable with it at first, not wanting me to touch anything, but after a few sharp words from me, he quietly relented. After dinner, I washed his face and changed his clothes. Leon's ears turned red. I looked at him with a smile, pinching his earlobe to tease him. "What, you can be shy. Don't touch me." He turned his head away, his ears burning. It was the first time I'd seen him like this. He was adorably bashful. I leaned down to kiss him. Thud, there was a sound at the door. We both turned to look. Cody was standing there, frozen, his phone lying on the floor. "Sir, you 2 are a guy and a guy." Cody's words were a jumble, his eyes as wide as saucers. I took Leon's hand. "Yeah, I'm laying my cards on the table. Leon and I are a couple." Cody was silent, and still silent. Half an hour passed before he finally processed it. So Leon likes you, sir. No wonder he was always looking at me funny. Don't tell my dad about this yet, or I'll dock your pay. Yes, sir. Cody picked up his phone and gave us an update on the driver. The man was sent by one of my father's business rivals. The original plan was just to scare me, but they hadn't expected it to cause such a commotion. It's worth noting that this driver is Adrian Vance's uncle. Oh, so there was that connection too. I raised an eyebrow, wondering what part Adrian had played in all this. Leon's eyes were so dark they could have been dripping ink. Sir, how do you want to handle this? Give him a taste of his own medicine, of course. I am not some pushover you can bully. Chapter 24. Final exams were approaching. Adrian was riding his bicycle toward the library. Just as he turned a corner, a red sports car came speeding toward him. He yelped and swerved to avoid it. Losing control, he crashed straight onto the lawn and into a tree. He cursed. As he got up, he realized he had twisted his ankle. It was already swollen and throbbing. A few minutes later, the sports car circled back. Adrian limped to his feet, about to confront the driver, when the car window rolled down. I casually flicked my hair and smiled at him. Adrian, my dear classmate, how careless of you. You did that on purpose, my apologies. It was too dark, I didn't see you clearly. I lowered my voice. After all, if I had done it on purpose, you probably wouldn't be standing right now. Adrian sneered. There are cameras here, I'll call the police. Go ahead, I hear your uncle went to prison. Adrian, you're only a freshman. You wouldn't want to see your bright future disappear, would you? Adrian's face went pale. He was too guilty to even look at me. The smile left my eyes. Dealing with a weakling who only preys on the vulnerable was so boring. I started the car and drove away. Cody emerged from the shadows, muttering, Sir, don't you think you let him off too easy? What do you know? You have to know when to stop. If you back someone into a corner, they might just lash out. A warning was enough. But it seemed karma wasn't done with Adrian. Just before exams, Adrian had a sudden, severe allergic reaction. He was hospitalized, missed his final exams, and a notice was posted about it. Chapter 25. Going home for the winter holidays meant I could finally get some proper rest. Leon's arm had healed, and he and Cody were back to their playful roughhousing. I dyed my hair pink and pestered Leon, asking if it looked good. Leon's gaze flickered, and he lowered his eyes. It looks good. You didn't even look properly, and you're already saying it looks good. So insincere. I'm afraid if I look too long, I won't be able to control myself. I pinched his ear, laughing softly. Then don't, his Adam's apple bobbed. He captured the back of my neck and kissed me. Outside the window, fireworks exploded, grand and brilliant. End of story.